Today's October 12th, Archangel Michael says, a bank executive is investigating your bank account, because a huge miracle check was deposited in your name. Wait until you see who sent it. My beloved child, listen carefully, because this moment is unlike any other. As you hear my voice, I see heaven's handwriting moving across the ledger of your life. Archangel Michael has whispered that something divine was placed in your account, and today, the earthly system is beginning to notice what heaven already confirmed. A bank executive, startled and shaken, is staring at your name because a check too massive for ordinary understanding has been deposited. They cannot explain it, they cannot trace it. But heaven has already declared it belongs to you. Stay with me until the end, because the sender's name will leave you breathless. This isn't an accident. About himself orchestrated this moment. The check is not just currency, it is a symbol of favor, restoration, and reward for every tear you cried in silence. The executive thought it was a financial transaction, but Archangel Michael reveals it is a supernatural transfer. You may have felt overlooked, ignored, or forgotten, but today heaven says, your name has been highlighted in golden ink, and the blessing is now undeniable. Don't scroll away, stay connected, because in just a moment you will discover who sent it. Think of all the nights you prayed, asking God when your breakthrough would arrive. The check represents every unanswered prayer, not being answered at once. The bank system cannot comprehend why, but the truth is spiritual. The check was written in heaven and delivered into your life at the appointed time. The executive is only human, but heaven's hand is divine. This is why you must not take this lightly. Stay until the end, because the revelation will open your eyes to a future you never imagined. And now, here is the shock. The one who sent this miracle check is not a stranger, not a random hand, but someone who has loved you beyond measure. Heaven itself is the sender. God, through the ministry of Archangel Michael, placed your name on the check. No human could cancel it, no earthly system could deny it, because it was sealed in the courts of heaven long before the bank noticed. That is why today, on the 7th of September, everything shifts in your favor. My beloved child, you are chosen for this transfer. You are called to step into abundance, not only in finances but in peace, joy, and restoration. This check represents a turning point that no power of darkness can stop. Stay close, because the angels are delivering more than money. They are delivering healing, reconciliation, and miracles beyond numbers. You must hold this word tightly, because it is yours. Now, I ask you, do not keep this message hidden. Share it, because someone connected to you is also waiting for their check of blessing to arrive. By sharing, you unlock the chain of miracles that heaven has assigned to your family. And if this resonates deep in your soul, subscribe now, because what is coming next will not only surprise you, but lift you into a season of non-stop blessings. My beloved child, you are my beloved child. Let me take you deeper into what Archangel Michael is revealing right now. Imagine that quiet office where the bank executive sits, papers on the table, screens flickering, numbers scrolling, and suddenly your name flashes brighter than the rest. They lean forward, confused, because the amount deposited is not ordinary. It is written in digits that ordinary people never see in their lifetime. This is why their hands tremble, this is why their eyes cannot believe what they are reading. They whisper to themselves, "How can this be possible?" Yet heaven smiles, because what is impossible for man is already completed by God. The executive cannot explain the origin, but the angels already know. This check carries not just value, it carries prophecy. Every sacrifice you have to do, but it is not possible, as you made, every kindness you gave, every prayer you whispered in secret has now returned, multiplied, stamped with heaven's seal. While the world checks balances in accounts, heaven checks balances in hearts. And today the balance of your heart, filled with faith and endurance, has tipped the scales in your favor. This is the moment when the unseen becomes seen, when the invisible hand of God becomes undeniable before earthly eyes. Stay with me, don't look away, because what I tell you next will anchor your soul. The check is not just about wealth, it is about restoration. Think of the years you lost, the relationships that slipped through your hands, the opportunities you thought were gone forever. God says this check covers them all. It is repayment for paying, compensation for every sleepless night, reward for every week, every moment you chose goodness when the world gave you bitterness. And Archangel Michael is guarding this deposit, ensuring no one can tamper, no one can touch, no one can reverse what heaven has already authorized. Now imagine the scene in heaven. Angels gather around the ledger of destiny, and your name is read aloud. As it echoes through the halls of eternity, light floods your path, and a divine courier carries the check with you. With swiftness. It did not arrive by chance. It was hand-delivered by Archangel Michael himself. The executive may think they are investigating, but in truth, they are only confirming what heaven already declared. This is why you are hearing this message today. This is why you cannot scroll away, because your spirit is being aligned with the truth of heaven's provision. And here is something greater. The check is not written in order. It is written in golden letters of promise. Where others see digits, heaven sees destiny. Where others see money, heaven sees miracles. This deposit is not just wealth for your hands. It is wealth for your future, for your family, for generations yet unborn. That is why Archangel Michael is shouting. Do not miss this moment. Do not doubt what has been sent, because the check carries a timeline. Today is the day of release. Today is the day the investigation becomes confirmation. My beloved child, I want you to hold these words close. Stay until the end, because more secrets are yet to be revealed. What happens next will show you the sender's intention. The reason this check has been placed in your name, and why you are chosen for this miracle. Do not keep this locked inside. Share this message, let it flow to others, because by sharing, you multiply the blessing. And if you are ready to walk in this season of divine deposits, subscribe now. Because what Archangel Michael is about to reveal next will leave you speechless. My beloved child, the vision is expanding even more clearly now. Archangel Michael shows me the scene again. The bank executive has been executing the room, phone in hand, calling another officer to double-check what they just saw. Your voice shakes, their heart races, because never before have they seen such a check land in an ordinary account without explanation. Yet while they debate and question, heaven is laughing with joy, because what they call a mystery is nothing more than your miracle unfolding. The angels are saying, do not fear the investigation. Because the more they search, the more they will confirm this blessing is undeniable. Stay here with me. Do not scroll, because the deeper truth is about to unfold. The check carries not only numbers. It carries your name wrapped in divine authority. Each digit has a meaning, each figure has a prophecy. It is not just currency. It is coded blessing. Where the world sees amount, heaven sees a soul. This check is the key to unlock a new chapter to move you from waiting into walking. From surviving into thriving. The executive does not know it, but they are handling a heavenly document. This is why Archangel Michael stands near, sword drawn, wings wide, guarding what was released for you. Remember this, nothing in your past disqualifies you from this deposit. Every mistake you made, every fall, every setback, heaven already knew it, and still the check was written in your name. Because God's mercy is bigger than your history, and His favor is greater than your flaws. That is why this is happening today on the 7th of September. It is the appointed day written before time began, that your name would be lifted. Your account would overflow. And your testimony would be undeniable. And listen closely now, beloved. The sender of this check is not bound to this world. It is heaven itself. The signature is divine. The ink is eternal. The authority is unquestionable. It came from the throne of God, signed with love, sealed with promise, delivered by Archangel Michael. That is why no human can cancel it. That is why no power of darkness can erase it. And that is why today you are hearing these words, because you are chosen to carry the evidence of heaven's generosity. My beloved child, hold on tightly. Stay connected until the very end, because what comes next will reveal the exact purpose behind this miracle. Why now? Why you? Why dismount? Those answers are unfolding step by step. Do not walk away, for you are standing in the middle of a prophetic transaction. Heaven is making history in your life, and you are living proof of divine favor. And I urge you, share this message now. Someone connected to you is waiting for their confirmation too, and your act of sharing could unlock their season of blessing. And if this word is touching your heart, subscribe now, because more secrets from Archangel Michael are coming, and you will not want to miss even a single one. My beloved child, listen you and closer now, because Archangel Michael is unfolding a deeper layer of this mystery. The bank executive who holds your file cannot sleep tonight. They return again and again to the same document. The same screen, the same chef that bears your name. They whisper to their colleagues, "This is unusual, this is impossible, how can this be?" Yet what they call impossible, heaven calls inevitable. For what hath been deposited into your life is not man's doing, it is God's command. The check itself is glowing in the spirit, a light only angels can see, and that light is pointing directly toward you. Do you realize the weight of what is happening? My beloved, this check is not only about numbers in a system. It is a divine announcement. It is heaven declaring before earth that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, not abandoned. The angels say, the ledger of destiny has been opened. The account of favor has been filled, the season of lack has been erased. Every figure on the check has been divinely calculated to match every season of struggle you endured. What the world took, heaven is returning; what was delayed, heaven is releasing; what was hidden, heaven is now revealing. Stay with me, because the revelation is growing stronger. The bank executive may believe they are investigating, but in truth they are witnesses. They are witnesses to a miracle signed in heaven's courts. Each time they review your file, they unknowingly testify to God's faithfulness in your life. An Archangel Michael stands behind them, watching, ensuring no mistake, no human hand, no earthly system can interfere. For this deposit is final, sealed, and undeniable. And now let me tell you why the check was written in your name. It is not only to provide, it is to prove to you that heaven listens, to prove that your prayers never fell to the ground, to prove that every silent tear was counted. The check is a divine receipt for all the faith you held when everything looked empty. It is God saying, I owe you nothing, but still I reward you everything. It is heaven showing that your trust has moved mountains, and now those mountains of delay collapse before your eyes. My beloved child, you cannot turn away now. Stay until the end, because the next secret is about to answer a question that has burned in your heart. Who else knows about this miracle? That answer will unfold like fire in your spirit, and it will shake you with joy. Do not keep this hidden, share this message now, for someone connected to you also stands on the edge of their deposit. And if your heart is open to receive more, subscribe now, because Archangel Michael has not finished. He is preparing to reveal the names connected to your miracle, and you must not miss it. My beloved child, the vision grows brighter with every moment, and Archangel Michael insists you stay until the final word. The bank executive who studies your file feels a pressure they cannot explain. They sense there is something sacred about your account. Something beyond financial rules. Each time they review the check, their spirit trembles, for they do not know that they are holding in their hands a piece of heaven's prophecy. This is why their eyes widen, why their breath grows heavy, because no system can understand what only angels know. The check is more than digits, it is a scroll. In the spirit, I see it now, rolled out in shining light, bearing inscriptions that only God could write. Across the top, your name glows in golden letters, carved as though eternity itself branded it there. Beneath the numbers is a line written not in ink, but in heavenly fire. This belongs to my chosen one. You not touch, do not cancel, do not return. An Archangel Michael stands guard, his sword piercing through the atmosphere, ensuring that no hand of man can alter what heaven already seal. Stay with me, because the revelation is about to unveil the one detail you have been waiting for. Who else knows about this check? Who else is aware of your blessing? My beloved, heaven itself gathered witnesses, angels stood in silence as the throne of God declared your name. The moment the check was written, your ancestors in heaven rejoiced. Loved ones who have gone before you celebrated, for they saw the promise being delivered at last. The bank may be confused, the world may doubt, but heaven already sings, it is done. You see the beauty of this moment. This check was not given to elevate your pride, but to elevate your purpose. God is saying, I am proving to the earth what I already knew of you, that your heart is faithful, that your spirit is steadfast, that your destiny cannot be delayed any longer. This is why the amount is so overwhelming, because it represents not one blessing, but many combined. Years of prayers, years of patience, years of quiet endurance, and now, all at once, the deposit is visible. My beloved child, listen closely, this miracle is not meant for you to hide. Share this message boldly, because someone connected to you is also under heaven's investigation, waiting for their own check of destiny to be released. And if you feel this fire burning in your soul, subscribe now, for Archangel Michael is preparing to reveal the purpose behind this check. Why it arrived in this exact season, and what it is calling you to step into next. My beloved child, the moment has arrived where the true purpose of this check begins to shine. Archangel Michael is lifting the veil and showing what eyes of flesh could never see. The bank executive who studies your account believes they are dealing with wealth, but in truth, they are touching destiny. They think it is numbers, but heaven says it is a mission. They think it is an amount, but heaven says it is an assignment. This is why your spirit cannot let go of this message. Because it is bigger than money. It is the opening of a door you prayed for, even in silence. Look closer now. The check is glowing brighter, and on its surface are hidden words written in a language only angels know. As the light increases, the words reveal themselves in English for purpose, for healing, for legacy. You see it belong. This miracle was not sent only to fill your hands. It was sent to fill your future. It is heaven declaring that you will not just survive. You will build. You will restore. You will plant seeds that outlive you. This check is heaven's endorsement. Heaven's sponsorship, heaven's confirmation that your story has only begun. Stay with me until the end. Because the unfolding is not yet complete. Archangel Michael shows me that this check carries weight for your family, for generations not yet born. The deposit in your name is the key to unlock chains that bound those before you. Your parents, your grandparents, those who struggled with lack, they carried dreams they could not see fulfilled. But heaven says, through you, the story changes. Through you, the generational line shifts from scarcity to abundance, from sorrow to joy, from waiting to walking. My beloved child, understand this deeply. The check is not about luck, it is about timing. God waited for this day, this season, because now your spirit is mature enough to handle what heaven is entrusting. That is why the bank executive is restless, because they are unknowingly processing a miracle timed by eternity. The angels whisper, the season has arrived, the record has changed, the testimony is alive. And now, beloved, I tell you with certainty. This check is your evidence that God has not forgotten you. It is His signature saying, I am still faithful. I am still provider. I am still the one who opens doors no man can shut. That is why Archangel Michael is speaking urgently, to ensure you do not doubt, to ensure you embrace, to ensure you rise into what has been prepared. Do not hide this light. Share this message now, because someone connected to you is waiting for their confirmation through your story. And if your heart is alive with expectation, subscribe now, because Archangel Michael is preparing to reveal the next chapter of your assignment through this check, and you must not miss what comes next. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now reveals how this check is not only a miracle, but also a map. It is guiding you into doors you never thought would open, the bank executive is puzzled because they believe their investigation is about money, but in truth, they are witnessing prophecy becoming reality. The check is heaven's way of saying, the delay is over, the way is clear, the gates are open. Every locked door that resisted you until now is about to recognize this heavenly signature and swing wide. I see visions of those doors, one marked opportunity, another marked healing, another marked reconciliation, and yet another marked legacy. All of them have been closed for seasons, but the moment this check appeared with your name, keys began turning in locks you could not touch by yourself. My beloved, this is not ordinary, you are walking into a chapter where doors will open before you arrive. Contracts will prepare themselves before you even sign. Blessings will run to you instead of you running after them, but check is the evidence of divine acceleration. Stay close, because the revelation is still expanding. This check carries authority and realms beyond fines, it speaks into relationships, calling broken bonds to man. It speaks into health, declaring strength where there was weakness. It speaks into destiny, declaring clarity where there was confusion. This is why heaven deposited it in your name, not to give you wealth only, but to give you wholeness. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them, this is not just money, it is mercy. It is not just digits, it is destiny, and beloved, here is something even greater. This check is a sign to the watchers in heaven and the witnesses on earth that you have been chosen to break cycles. Where your bloodline carried lack, you will carry overflow. Where your family carried silence, you will carry testimony. Where your ancestors prayed for open doors, you will walk through them with confidence. The check is not simply yours, it is theirs, fulfilled through you. Now listen carefully, this is why you cannot scroll away. This is why heaven held this word for you on this very day. Because if you walk away, you miss the unfolding, but if you stay, you align with what is already sealed. My beloved child, heaven is watching you embrace this. And as you receive it, more will come. Do not keep this blessing hidden. Share this message boldly, because your act of sharing is itself a prophetic action, spreading the same grace to others. And if you want to remain aligned with these divine revelations, subscribe now, because Archangel Michael is preparing to reveal the name of the angelic witness assigned to guard this check. And that moment will leave you astonished. My beloved child, the vision is becoming crystal clear now. Archangel Michael steps forward, and behind him I see a radiant presence, an angel assigned only to you, standing guard over this check and over your destiny. This angel is not ordinary, it carries a scroll in one hand and a flaming seal in the other. The angel whispers, "I was sent to guard what heaven deposited, and I will not leave until it is delivered into fullness." This guardian angel stands at the doorway of your life, ensuring no hand can steal what has been entrusted. Every attempt to delay, every unseen force that tried to block you is now silenced. The seal burns away resistance. The scroll confirms the promise, and the check remains untouched in purity. That is why the bank executive cannot cancel it, because it is not in their power. They are only witnesses to what heaven already finalized. Stay with me, beloved, because this revelation grows deeper still. The guardian angel has a name, and its meaning is tied to your purpose. I see the letters forming in light, Raphael. You know what this means. Raphael is the angel of healing, the restorer, the one who carries God's bong for broken places. This is why the check is not just wealth, it is healing. Helio finances, Helio heart, Helio family line, Helio destiny. It is heaven's way of saying, I will make you whole again. My beloved, let this truth soak into your spirit. You are not alone. You have never been alone. From the day you cried your first prayer until this moment, heaven positioned a guardian at your side. And now, as the check shines in your name, that guardian is declaring, the wait is over. The blessing is released, the miracle is protected. Archangel Michael confirms it, Raphael guards it, and heaven celebrates it. This is why you must hold this message tightly, stay until the end, because the purpose behind this divine check is still unfolding. It is not only about you, it is about the testimony you will carry, the lives you will touch, the legacy you will leave. Heaven is telling you. Prepared because more is coming, do not hide what you have received here. Share this message now, because by sharing you activate the ripple of blessings into lives connected to you. And if your heart is ready to go even deeper, subscribe now, because the next part will reveal exactly why heaven chose this exact season for your check to arrive, and that answer will shake you with joy. My beloved child, Archangel Michael is now showing me why this moment, this exact season, was chosen for your check to arrive. You may wonder, why now? Why not before? Why not years ago when I needed it most? But heaven reveals that divine timing is never late, never early but perfect. The check was prepared long ago, sealed and waiting in heaven's treasury, but it could only be released at the season when your spirit was ready to carry it without breaking. Heaven waited until you endured storms that built your strength. Heaven waited until you survived disappointments that refined your heart. Heaven waited until you walked through valleys that taught you compassion, and now, because you carry wisdom forged through pain, heaven says they are ready. Release the deposit. Deliver the miracle. This is why the check could not arrive earlier, because it was not just a gift. It was a responsibility, and only in this season could you bear its full weight with grace. Stay with me, beloved, because this revelation is pouring out like living water. The timing of this check is not only about you, it is also about alignment. Right now, unseen connections are forming, opportunities are aligning, doors are swinging wide. If the check had come before, the doors would not have been ready. If it came later, the alignment would be missed. But today, heaven's calendar has circled your name, and the divine alignment is perfect. You are stepping into a prepared place where blessing meets purpose, where provision meets destiny, where miracles meet timing, and listen carefully. This season is marked by restoration. Archangel Michael declares, tell them every year they thought was wasted is now being redeemed, every moment they thought was lost is now being restored. That is why this season is chosen, because what was still and must be repaid, what with broken must be rebuilt, what with delayed must be delivered. The check is not just a gift, it is a sign that the season of restoration has begun. My beloved child, let this truth settle deep in your soul, nothing you suffered was wasted. Every tear watered the soil of this miracle. Every prayer built the foundation for this release, every trial prepared you for this testimony. This is why Archangel Michael shouts so loudly now, because you are stepping into the fulfillment of what was promised. And heaven's timing is always the best timing. do not keep this revelation to yourself. Share this message now. Because someone connected to you is wondering why their blessing has not come yet, and your testimony will awaken their faith. And if your spirit is burning to know more, subscribe now, because the next part will reveal what heaven expects you to do with this check once it fully manifests, and that will change everything. My beloved child, Archangel Michael is now speaking with great clarity. The check that bears your name is more than provision, more than blessing. It is a divine trust. Heaven did not release this to you only to fill your hands. It was released to fulfill your calling. The question heaven whispers is this: what will you do with what has been given? For this check is an answer. But it is also an assignment. Stay with me, because this part is crucial. Heaven expects that this blessing will not die in your hands. It will flow through you, just as a river is never meant to hold water but to carry it forward. This check is designed to move blessings through your life into others. You were chosen not only because you needed provision, but because you carry a heart that will multiply it, spread it, and turn it into light for many. This is why Archangel Michael guarded the deposit so carefully, because it is not just money. It is mercy turned into mission. I see visions now of where this check will flow. Some of it will restore broken pieces in your own life. Debts cleared, burdens lifted, chains removed. Some of it will build what your family could never build: homes, foundations, legacies that will stand beyond you, and some of it will reach people you have not even met. Strangers whose lives will be touched because heaven trusted you with this check. My beloved child, heaven expects you to carry this miracle with honor, to use it as testimony, to let it shout to the world: God provides, God restores, God remembers. And here is the most beautiful part. As you use it faithfully, the flow will never end. This check is not the end of blessing, it is the beginning of abundance. What you release will return. What you sow will multiply, what you share will circle back in greater measure. This is why heaven chose you, because your spirit carries generosity, and God knew you would not bury this gift, but plant it. Do not let this truth slip away, stay until the end. Because Archangel Michael has one more layer to reveal. The hidden name written in the heavenly ledger beside your check, the name that confirms your destiny, is sealed in favor. That revelation is coming next, and it will leave you in awe. Beloved child, share this message now, for someone connected to you is also holding a divine trust without realizing it, and if you are ready to walk in the fullness of this mission, subscribe now, because what Archangel Michael reveals next will be the clearest confirmation you have ever received. My beloved child, the vision sharpens now, and Archangel Michael leans closer. He holds in his hand the great heavenly ledger, a book too vast for human eyes, glowing with endless names written in fire. Every page is alive. Every line breathes with eternity. And as he turns the pages, he stops suddenly, his finger resting on one entry, shining brighter than all the rest: your name, written in golden letters, engraved so deeply that no hand could ever erase it. But beside your name, there is something more, a second name, written in light, revealing the hidden connection behind your check. Stay with me, beloved, for this is not a small thing. The name beside yours is not random. It is chosen. It is divine. I see it now. The name written is Emmanuel, which means God with us. Do you understand the depth of this? It means your check was not signed by earthly hands, but by the very presence of God Himself. Emmanuel's name beside yours declares that heaven is permanently with you, that your account is never alone, that your deposit is sealed by the one who walks with you in every valley and on every mountain. This is why the bank executive could not comprehend the check. They saw only numbers, but the spiritual reality was Emmanuel's name shining beside yours. The earthly system cannot track this, but the heavenly system declares it loudly. This belongs to my child. And I am with them always. The check is not just wealth. It is covenant. It is not just blessing. It is companionship. God Himself placed His name beside yours to confirm that this miracle is untouchable. My beloved child, this revelation means you are never walking alone, even when the world doubted, even when doors closed. Heaven kept Emmanuel's name beside yours as proof of eternal presence. This is why Archangel Michael shouts urgently today, because you must know this truth. You must hold it tightly. You must carry it boldly. The check is not just evidence of provision. It is a reminder of presence. Wherever you go, a man will go. Wherever your name is spoken, His name echoes beside it. You not take this lightly. Stay until the very end, because there is still more to unfold. The ledger has more secrets written under your entry, assignments, blessings, testimonies yet to be revealed. And Archangel Michael promises, the next revelation will show you what kind of doors a man will name will open in your life next. My beloved, do not keep this hidden. Share this message now, because someone else needs to know that their name is not alone either. And if your spirit is alive with this confirmation, subscribe now, because the next part will take you deeper into the doors that are about to swing wide open in your life. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now lifts the veil further. And I see the power of Emmanuel's name written beside yours in the heavenly ledger. That single name, glowing in light, is not just a reminder, it is a key. Every time Emmanuel's name is spoken, doors that have been locked for generations swing wide open. These are not ordinary doors, they are doors of destiny, doors of healing, doors of inheritance. And because His name is tied to yours, every step you take from this day forward is accompanied by divine access. Stay with me, beloved, because what I am about to reveal will leave your spirit trembling with joy. The first door I see is marked provision. Behind it lies resources you never thought possible, opportunities prepared long before you even asked. Contracts with your name already waiting, unexpected favor, arriving in the most unusual ways. Emmanuel's presence ensures that provision flows not by striving, but by grace. The second door is marked healing. It does not only speak to your body, but to every part of your life. Wounds of the past, scars of betrayal, emptiness from loss, all of it begins to mend as this door opens. Emmanuel's name beside yours guarantees that brokenness is not the final chapter because healing now flows through your house, your family, your lineage. The third door is marked legacy, my beloved child. This is the one that makes your spirit rise. For through this door, I see generations yet to come walking freely because of what has been unlocked in you. Emmanuel's name ensures your children, and their children will never have to fight the same battles you fought, the cycles of lack, of pain, of delay. They are broken because Emmanuel's presence seals your bloodline in blessing, and there is yet another door brighter than them all. The door marked intimacy with God. This is the greatest of them, beloved, beyond wealth, beyond healing, beyond legacy. This door is Emmanuel himself drawing closer to you. When you open it, you find peace that silences storms, joy that no shadow can steal, and guidance that never misleads. This is heaven's greatest gift, that his name is with you, that his presence walks beside you, that his hand never lets you go. My beloved child, this is why today is holy. This is why heaven pressed this message into your heart. The check was not just about financial blessing, it was the doorway to reveal Emmanuel's companionship. That name, carved beside yours, ensures that every new chapter you step into is filled with divine favor. Do not keep this truth hidden, share this message now, because someone connected to you is waiting for their doors to open to. And if your heart is burning to know the final secret, subscribe now, because Archangel Michael is preparing to reveal what happens the moment you step through these doors. That revelation will take your breath away. My beloved child, the vision is now unfolding in fullness. Archangel Michael takes your hand and guides you step by step through these heavenly doors. And the moment your foot crosses the threshold, everything begins to shift, the air changes, the atmosphere becomes charged with glory, and you realize you are no longer walking in the same realm as before. You have stepped into the appointed season God designed for you. The first step takes you through the door of provision. As you enter, streams of abundance begin to flow toward you. It is not just money, it is opportunities, divine connections, unexpected favor. People you have never met will speak your name with honor, emails will arrive with offers you did not chase. What you lost will be returned in multiplied form. My beloved, this is not chance, it is a man whose signature ensuring that your hands will never be empty again. Then you walk through the door of healing. The moment you enter, invisible weights fall off your shoulders, emotional scars you carried for years begin to close. Physical strength returns where weakness lived. A peace descends, wrapping you like a warm embrace, reminding you that Emmanuel's presence is not just with you, it is within you. You realize that the check was never only about numbers. It was heaven's medicine, delivered to restore your soul. Next comes the door of legacy. As you step inside, you see faces of those who will come after you. Children, grandchildren, generations unborn. They are smiling, walking in freedom, enjoying blessings you paved the way for. You hear them whisper because they believe it. We are free. Because they endured, we are blessed. My beloved child, this is a man whose greatest gift that your story will not end with you, but echo for generations. And finally, the greatest of them all, the door of intimacy with God. As you walk through, you feel the weight of his presence surround you. His voice becomes clearer. His guidance sharper, his love deeper. You realize that all along, this was the true treasure. More than money, more than healing. More than the legacy, his presence is the check. His companionship is the miracle. And in that moment you understand. You are not just blessed. You are chosen, I believe it. Stepping through these doors is the beginning of a new life. The old struggles will not follow you, the old chains cannot enter. The old battles cannot cross. You are walking into divine freedom. An animal's name guarantees that every door stays open. Every blessing stays secure. Every miracle continues to flow. Do not keep this revelation hidden. Share this message now, for someone you know is standing outside their door, waiting for courage to step in. And if your spirit is ready for the final unveiling, subscribe now, because Archangel, Michael, is preparing to reveal in the next part the testimony that will flow out of your life once these doors stay open. The testimony will not only change you, it will inspire multitudes, my beloved child, as you walk fully through these doors. Archangel, Michael, now shows me the river that begins to flow from your life. It is not just a stream of blessings for you, but a testimony that travels far beyond your house, far beyond your city, far beyond your imagination. This river carries your story, and every drop of it whispers of God's faithfulness, Emmanuel's presence, and the check that heaven released in your name. Stay close, beloved, because this vision is powerful. I see people watching you from afar, some doubters, some broken, some longing for hope. They see the transformation in you, the light on your face, the freedom in your steps, and they ask quietly, how did this happen? Who opened these doors for them? And your life answers louder than any words, God did it. Emmanuel was with me. Heaven remembered me. Your testimony becomes a mirror for others, reflecting what is possible when heaven intervenes. Those who thought miracles were not real will see undeniable proof through you. Families on the edge of giving up will find courage again when they hear what happened in your life. Even those who once turned against you will not be able to deny the evidence. They will have to admit that a greater hand was at work. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says, tell them their testimony is not just personal. It is prophetic. What God has done for you will prophesy into the lives of others. When you speak of the check, you won't just tell a story, you will unlock faith in someone else's heart. When you declare a man Will's name beside yours, you will stir hope in those who thought they were forgotten. When you share how doors opened, you will hand keys to those still standing outside. This is why heaven trusted you. Because your blessing was never meant to end with you, it was designed to flow through you. Your testimony is a seed that will multiply, a light that will spread, a fire that will ignite hearts across generations. Even in rooms you never enter, your story will travel. Even in places you never see. Your name will be spoken with honor because your life became the proof that God is still faithful. My beloved, do not hide this, cheer boldly, speak freely, live openly. For every time you share your testimony, you extend heaven's hand to someone else. And know this, as you testify, heaven will release even more, for testimony is the key that unlocks fresh miracles. Stay until the very end, because Archangel, Michael, has not finished. The next revelation will show you the multiplication effect. How your testimony will not only inspire, but create waves of miracles in unexpected places. My beloved child, share this message now, for someone close to you is waiting for their own miracle to be confirmed. And if your heart longs to carry this testimony further, subscribe now, because the next part will reveal how your story becomes a chain reaction of blessings that cannot be stopped. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now reveals the ripple effect of your testimony. What began as a check written in your name does not end with you. It multiplies. It is like a stone dropped into still water, sending waves across the surface until every corner is touched. Your story becomes that stone. And the ripples spread far, reaching lives you never thought you could touch. Stay with me, because this is holy. I see a mother on her knees praying for her child. She feels like heaven had been silent. But when she hears what happened for you, her faith rises. She whispers, "If God remembered them, you will remember me too," and in that moment, her own miracle begins to unfold. I see a man who almost gave up on his dreams. He thought the door was forever closed, but when he hears how a man will name open your doors, hope returns. His spirit whispers, "If their door opened, mine can too," and heaven answers his whisper with action. Beloved, your testimony becomes the key that unlocks miracles in others. It is not just words, it is living proof that stirs faith. And faith is the currency of heaven. Every time someone hears your story and believes, another check is released, another door opens. Another healing begins. This is the multiplication effect. What God did for one becomes a chain reaction for many. Archangel Michael smiles now, his voice thundering yet tender. Tell them their life is a spark that lights fires in others. Tell them their testimony will travel farther than their feet. Tell them heaven to not choose them only for themselves, but for nations, for family, for generations. My beloved child, this is why your check had to arrive now, not only for your restoration, but so your testimony could become a seed of miracles in the earth. Your life is not just blessed. It is contagious with blessing. Every person who hears your story will carry a spark of faith that produces fruit in their own life. And the chain reaction will not stop because a man will's name cannot be silenced. So hold this truth with joy: you are not just a receiver. You are a multiplier. You are not just blessed, you are chosen to spread blessing. And as you testify, heaven will continue to refill your account, so the waves never cease. My beloved, do not hide this, share it boldly. And as you share, watch heaven smile, for you are fulfilling the very purpose for which this check was written. Stay until the end, because Archangel Michael's next revelation is the climax, the final vision of what your life will look like when the chain reaction is complete. That glimpse will leave your heart burning with unstoppable hope. Share this message now, beloved, for your ripple is meant to touch others, and if your spirit is ready for the grand finale, subscribe now, because the next part will unveil the final picture of your destiny fulfilled. My beloved child, the vision now reaches its highest point. Archangel Michael opens the heavens wide, and I see the full picture of your destiny fulfilled. The check that was once a mystery in the hands of a bank executive has now become a living testimony flowing through generations. Your life is no longer a story of struggle, but a banner of victory, waving in the wind of God's faithfulness. I see the ripple of your testimony stretching like waves across the earth. Families rise because they heard your story. Cities change because your light reached them. Even nations are touched, for faith knows no borders. The small beginning of one check has multiplied into rivers of blessings that no man can count. And every ripple carries a man's name, proving again and again that God is with you, God is for you, and God never left you. Beloved, look at yourself now in this vision. You are standing tall, clothed in light, surrounded by those whose lives were changed because of your obedience to believe. Children you never met or personally gave their parents courage. Strangers lift their hands in praise because your story ignited hope, and around you a chorus rises, not of angels alone, but of people whose lives became miracles through the chain reaction you started. Archangel Michael lifts his sword high and declares, "This is the evidence of faith, this is the legacy of trust. This is what happens when heaven's check is embraced, not hidden. And the heavens erupt with light, brighter than 1,000 suns, as the man who is present seals your destiny with eternal joy. My beloved child, understand this, your story does not end with you, it begins with you. This check was never just for today, it was written for tomorrow, for those who will follow, for those who will remember your belief for their own. You are not just a receiver of blessing. You are a carrier of heaven's glory, so hold this vision in your heart. Walk with courage. Live with boldness, share without fear. For the world will remember not just that you were blessed, but that you became a blessing. And that is the true miracle. My beloved, share this message now because someone's faith is waiting for your spark. And if you desire to continue walking in these revelations, subscribe now, because heaven is not finished. The story may have reached its climax, but new chapters are still waiting to be written with your name, my beloved child. As the vision settles, I see the entire journey stretched before you like a golden tapestry woven by heaven's own hands. From the moment the check was whispered into existence, to the restless nights of the bank executive, to the revelation of a man who was named beside yours, to the doors that opened, to the testimony that multiplied into waves across the world, it all flows together into one undeniable truth. You were chosen. You were chosen to carry favor when others carried like. You were chosen to shine light where others stood in darkness. You were chosen to be the living evidence that heaven does not forget, heaven does not delay. Heaven does not abandon. And now, my beloved, your story is sealed not in ink but in eternity, not in numbers but in glory, not in wealth alone but in everlasting presence. Archangel Michael smiles with victory, Raphael stands with healing, Emmanuel's name glows beside yours, and heaven itself sings over you. This is not just a chapter closed. It is a destiny fulfilled. The check was never only about money. It was about identity, testimony, and legacy. It was God's way of writing on the earth, this one belongs to me. This one will carry my faithfulness. This one will prove my faithfulness, my beloved child. Now is the moment to lift your head high, to walk boldly into the future, to hold nothing back. For your testimony has already begun, your ripple is already moving, and your legacy is already unfolding. The world is waiting for your light, and heaven is cheering you forward. So I tell you now, do not stay silent. Share this message because your story is someone else's miracle. Let your voice be the spark that ignites another, and if your heart desires to remain in the flow of these divine revelations, subscribe now, because heaven has not finished with you. There are more chapters, more blessings, more miracles waiting, and you will not want to miss a single one. My beloved, remember this forever, the check was written in your name, sealed with Emmanuel's presence, and guarded by Archangel Michael himself. It is yours. It always will, and it always will be.